coming out with the Air Force One thing, man, I lie to you not. You can ask my manager. It was all premeditated. I said, listen, I'm gonna wear these wax sneakers. It was 2011. I said, I'm gonna wear these wax sneakers just to test to see, because, all right, let me tell you, when I first came out, you know, I didn't know if my idols were looking at me and so I got all my friends like, oh man, you know, so-and-so wore the whatever, cause you wore, yo, you know, so-and-so was starting to say trill now, right? Oh, you know, so-and-so was watching your video, so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't think that so-and-so has enough time to watch an ASAP Rocky video, but I was wrong. And so-and-so, never mind. Let's just talk
Name
about
him, talk about it.
Yeah, well, those people usually take that aesthetic and get credit for it. So I said, you know what? Let me do things that only I could do, like bringing back Coogee sweaters, simple stuff. We do simple things like that. Subi jeans, Black Scale, Hood by Air, Ben Trill, Jeremy Scott, Rav Simmons, Rick Owens, Ferragamo now, because now all the hood dudes are wearing the belts. Man, Tommy Hilfiger, vintage Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah, man, you name it. We kind of brought it back. I felt like it was nostalgic to us because we're hip hoppers, you know. And I wanted to purposely be able to identify when I did certain things. It was almost like I put a trademark out there. So when people started wearing the Air Force Ones again, I stopped wearing it, and I just said, man, I did my job, and I was right all along. I haven't worn Air Force One since 2013.
Don't get it twisted. We weren't the first one to start rocking Air Force Ones, but when you say made them famous, you got to understand that Air Force Ones was more of a New York East Coast thing. We
Absolutely.
didn't rock Air Force Ones in the South. We didn't rock Air Force Ones in the Midwest, and they wasn't rocking Air Force Ones on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Like, until we did what we did, Air Force Ones went from $59.99 to $100 in a year. In a year, the same year after we made our song, shot our video, and had our tour. So I don't know what ASAP is on or whatever he's talking about, but if he's in any doubt, all he got to do is ask Nike.
Air Force One was a New York thing.
Exactly.
When you did the tour and you did that record, you made it bigger than just New York. You took it outside of New York. But there was a time when nobody would wear Air Force Ones. It was considered the old man's sneaker. Nobody was rocking with it. Every time I wore my Airs, it was like, why you still rocking Airs for? He brought it back for the kids. He did.
He brought it back for the kids?
I think so.
I don't know. They never dipped. The price never changed, my dude. We took them from $59.99 to $100.
Hey, Nike said that the peak of Air Force One was after Nelly dropped that record in 2005 was like their highest sales year ever. Like from 02 to 05, but 05 was the peak.
That is true.
Champ, let me tell you something. And I love y'all as more as I tell you, and I put this on everything I love, that Nelly was always Nelly, and Nelly always had it in Nelly. But New York and my family and all my niggas from Harlem taught Nelly how to be a star. And I say that to this day. You know what I mean? But this is why country niggas got a problem with the East Coast, because y'all don't want to give us our freaking credit. Bro.
We give you your credit.
Talk about it, Nelly.
We give you your credit.
Hold on, my nigga. This is why Pimp C always had a problem with you niggas up there. This is why we always got to go through the process that we go through to get our credit. Because y'all know, like I know, that if Nelly was from the East Coast, he would be the biggest rapper of all time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to CodeBlaque Facts. You guys know that I love you, and we are definitely going to talk about not necessarily the whole Nelly, ASAP Rocky situation, because to me, it's so just silly. But I wanted to, bring up the topic of how many people, black people that is, many of us, we'll make something pop. We'll get stuff popping. We'll get people, interested in something. We'll make a lot of these non-black companies millions and millions of dollars off of, our own, putting our own little twist on something and getting stuff popping. And I believe that this is a prime example. Here you have an older man, Nelly. Nelly is, Nelly knocking on 40's door if he's not already 40. And you have a younger guy who's coming in, and they're literally, kind of going back and forth about who made Air Force Ones popping. And it's like, who cares? The company that, you guys made it pop for, Nike Air Force Ones, they are not cutting any checks to Nelly or ASAP Rocky. So, they're getting free advertisement. It's kind of like that whole Popeyes thing, when everybody went out and was getting all these Popeye sandwiches, and then you see all these black people making these funny memes and videos about how good or how they didn't like the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Well, Popeyes made millions and billions and millions of dollars off of that. And that is another prime example of how we'll get something popping, we'll get something hot, we'll make things trend, but we do not get, we don't get the benefits from it. All we get is a tap on the head, a job well done, and we go on our way. And so I kind of wanted to bring this topic to the forefront because this is really getting out of hand. So yeah, if we're going to be, giving our stamp of approval on something, then we need to be getting paid, and we need to make sure that those endorsement checks line up with, what we're doing. And that to me is what's becoming the issue. And so if you guys took note during the ASAP Rocky interview, and, he, at the very end, he named a lot of companies that he, would wear. And he basically somehow got these companies back popping. He got people back wearing, these particular brands and things like that. And I noticed, like, out of every company that he named, none of them were black companies, black owned. See, that bothers me. And this is my thing. You don't have to be, this pro-black, everything that you do, wear, say, look, whatever is black. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you take pride in getting a non-black company popping and making, reintroducing certain items back into the black community, because that's pretty much, who the target is. Because I mean, if you're a rapper, you're in the rap industry, yeah, there are people from all walks of life who listen to rap music and things like that. But let's just be honest, rap and R&B and all of that has a major influence, a major impact on the black community. It's just always been like that. Why? Because that's the genre that we came up with. That's our genre. That's what we created, right? And so you get people that come in and they come in and they remix things or whatever and try to call it their own. But again, he took pride in making sure he named off all these companies that he got, quote unquote, got back popping or reintroduced certain things back into, the mixed. And, I took an issue with that because, again, like, how about you pick up, you go find a black company, clothing line, or maybe cologne or jewelry or whatever. I mean, there are all types of black owned businesses out there who make all types of things, and provide all types of services. How about you guys brag about that? That's my thing. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out, there are things like, okay, I'm just going to name a few major things that black people, we came into the picture. We either created it or we got it popping. And then you got non-black people come in and they basically remix it, transform it, or whatever, and then they make money off of it. So we do it for free just to get a pat on the back, just to get, a like and a hoorah. No money involved. We ain't making no money. I've seen this several times with dance moves. You get people that come in, our people, we come in, we create these hot dance moves, but we're not making no money though. Like, we are not capitalizing off of what we come up with. But then when a non-black person come in, that's the first thing they try to do. They know how to turn certain things into money, and we need to get like that. And am I saying every single thing has to be about money? No. So please don't come into my comment section talking about, oh, everything. No, we live in a capitalist society, okay? We need money to do basically any and everything, right? So if you're going to be working hard to get something popping, then you need to be getting paid. And there's nothing wrong with that. And anybody who comes in and says that there is, then you can be broke and be wherever you want to be. But those of us who, want to be entrepreneurs, who want to do business and things like that, it's nothing wrong with that. Don't let anybody try to shame you for making money. Now, am I saying that there are certain things that, you can go into where maybe all money ain't good money? Yes. But again, if we're going to be the creators of certain things and we're going to get things popping and we're going to be influencers, there's nothing wrong with getting a check cut so that we can, make money from our hard earned, what the hard work that we put into. But here's a small little list. So, you already know America, we got popping. We came over here. We built America up. And when I say came, actually, we didn't come. We were actually kidnapped, brought over here, enslaved. We built America up, got America popping. And now everybody want to be here. Everybody trying to get over here. This is the land of, coming over here and being able to come up. And so you got a lot of people from other countries that want to come over here and come up. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shade in that comment, but I'm just saying the facts are the facts. Okay, so you got that going. The internet. You guys remember, this is the thing, like back in the day before there was a Twitter, a Facebook, any of that, there was something called Black Planet. Okay, Black Planet, I had a Black Planet account when I was in high school, like my senior year going into my freshman year. And Black Planet at that time for Black people was popping. Like that's what it was. Well, you got a company that basically copied Black Planet, okay, and they came up with MySpace and then Facebook and then all these other things started popping up. So again, that's a prime example of how we will get something popping, right? We'll influence a lot of people to, hey, this is the thing to do. Let's do this. And then once we do that, now everybody coming in and that's what they're doing. But then they're making money. They're making money. They have grown it into this large, corporation, if you will. Because Black Planet doesn't even get to me, the credit that they should get because they were the first. Okay, when it comes to, being able to post comments and interact with people online, Black Planet was the first. Okay, created by Black people, ran by Black people at one point, and it was nothing but Black people on there, majority. Okay, and then of course they got kind of put out when MySpace came in, and then Facebook, and so on and so forth. So that's a prime example. We also have, I'm not gonna even go into the music. Okay, y'all know it's been several music songs and all types of genres of music that have basically been stolen. Okay, where we created it, we had it popping, we had it in the juke joints, we was rocking it, and then you get a non-Black person, particularly a Caucasian person, they come in, they hear it, they steal it, and they take it back and try to remix it, and then make money off of it. Okay, so we know the music industry, we know dance, TV, the way that we dress, our style, things like that. A really good example of this is, right now, the Air Force Ones. Air Force Ones, a lot of people wore them, but again, I came up in the 2000s. I remember, Nelly, he did get it popping, like Air Force Ones. When he was doing his tour and he was hot, a lot of people was getting Air Force Ones because they were influenced, because that was the style back then, right? And so comedy, like when you see people making these comedy skits online and stuff like that, that came out of Black. We started doing that. We got that popping. We got that popping for real. Like doing the whole, every time you see somebody doing these little comedy skits online, a lot of times only see that circulating among Black crowds. And now everybody's doing it, these different challenges and things like that, where you did the dance challenges and stuff like that. Again, that's another thing, we get popping, but we'll start these trends, we'll get this stuff popping, and ain't nobody getting a check. And then when the non-Black people come behind us and they try to do it or remix it or take it over, then they start getting a check. People are coming to them trying to pay them. Okay? We got to learn how to remix that stuff into making money for ourselves as well. That's all I'm saying. Catchphrases, slang. The list goes on and on and on and on. And these days, there are a lot of things that you can that you can, make money from, because that's just a lot of things are online, a lot of things are on the internet, and that's just how the world works nowadays. So I also wanted to kind of hit on to you guys. Okay, so I cannot end this video without giving you guys some history about sneakers and tennis shoes and things like that. So I did some research. I found that like Keds was kind of like the first sneaker type tennis shoe to come out. It came out in 1892. For, if you guys know anything about Keds has never really been, like that popping shoe. They came out from what I saw growing up, it was really mostly non-black people, particularly Caucasian people, who wore Keds. And it was a clean cut shoe. You wouldn't see Keds, being worn in the way that you would see an actual sneaker like a Jordan or an Air Force One or an actual sneaker. People just kind of wore Keds to get out of the dress shoe, right? It was a more comfortable shoe. It wasn't like promoted to be a tennis shoe, if that makes sense, right? You saw a lot of particularly women and children wear them. You really didn't see men wearing Keds. So, but they came out first. But then after that, you had Converse All-Stars come out, and as a basketball shoe. And then you had Chuck Taylor, who in 1923 endorsed the Converse, and so that's where the name Chuck Taylor came from. But in 1923, when Chuck Taylor was a white basketball player, when he endorsed the shoe, even then that shoe was not popping, because remember, black people in 1923 were not in the game of basketball, professional basketball. It wasn't until black players got into the game of professional basketball, and of course, you guys know how we do it in sports. We gonna put on a show. We are the best athletes out there. That's just what it is. That's a fact. Okay, so when black basketball players entered the league, the professional league, or just entered the league period and started getting shine, black players started making Chucks at that point, which was the basketball shoe that everybody wore. That's when Chuck Taylor's, Converses, and all of that got popping. And then, because the basketball stars who was amazing on the court, they the fastest, they the strongest. Y'all already know what the game is on basketball. That translated to the hoods. You know what I'm saying? And so when that went into the hoods, you got kids in the hoods playing basketball on the court. You got just people in the hood, people just wearing the shoe. And that's how the shoe really got popping, if you really want to just be honest about it. But when that basketball player Chuck Taylor came into the game, that shoe wasn't popping like that. No, it did not go on an international scale like that. I mean, yeah, people wore it, but it wasn't popping like that. That shoe did not get popping until the black basketball ball players came into the game professionally, into the professional game of basketball, and was on the screens, and we were watching these basketball players and seeing their, the awesome game that they had, and that's when the shoe started really getting popping. So that's another example how black people, we come in, we get stuff popping, we make these companies millions of dollars, and we ain't getting cut a check, okay? And then from that, you had Jesse Owens. So Jesse Owens endorsed Adidas in 1936. For those of you guys who do not know who Jesse Owens is one of the greatest black male track stars, Olympic, okay, black male track stars there ever was. And so when he endorsed the Adidas shoe, Adidas took off and went to a whole different level, okay? And I will say this, Adidas do give credit to Jesse Owens in that endorsement. But that's just another example of how we come in, we put our stamp of approval, we get stuff popping and we get stuff hot. And then now everybody wants to get stuff, but we're doing this for other companies, non-black companies. So I just wanted to point that out. But the most successful tennis shoe, sneaker of all time that came in and changed the absolute game. I'm sure you guys know, if any of you guys are into sneakers, that's of course Michael Jordan, Air Jordans. When Air Jordans hit the scene in 1984, that changed the whole scene of sneakers, shoes, tennis shoes. Okay, so let that be known. Again, Michael Jordan the greatest basketball player of all times, came in 1984, with the Air Jordans, and then here we are today with all these many other tennis shoes. So again, we have always been pioneers. We have always set the tone. I'm just glad Michael Jordan did actually get paid. But, there are a lot of people that came before him. There are a lot of people that came after him. Where we come in, we make stuff hot, we get stuff popping, and we're not making money. So to get on, a platform where hundreds of thousands of people are listening and brag about how you made something hot and pop, but you didn't get a check, or you're not currently getting a check being cut, to me is absolutely stupid. And you know what? To be quite honest, people can learn a thing or two from the Kardashians, even Beyonce. Beyonce ain't finna. Look, let me tell you something. One thing about the Kardashians or even Beyonce, they're not going to endorse anything unless they got a check. Okay? That's how we need to be. And I'm not saying, please do not take that to the extreme, people. I'm not saying that every single thing is about money. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you got these big corporations, such as your Air Force Ones, your Nikes, all these other tennis shoes, this jewelry, the whatever, all these name brand people, and you sitting on a platform bragging about how you made them hot, and they have money to endorse you, to pay you, then you need to be getting paid. That's all I'm saying. And if you want to just do something for free at a charity, then find a Black-owned company, or a company that provides some type of service or whatever, or a product or whatever, and get them popping and get them hot and put them on the scene. Okay? There's a lot of Black companies out there. So that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I love you guys. You guys take care. Until next time, we'll see you soon.